We're looking at Māori Wards. What's happening in Whangarei? What's happening in Hastings with Māori Wards? Because remember, Kaipara seemed to start the way that Māori Wards would be getting cancelled left, right and centre. They seem to want to lead the way for getting rid of Māori Wards. Well, here's what happened at Whangarei today.
Following a long and at times emotional debate, Whangarei Council voted to retain its 2 Māori wards with a referendum at next year's election, one of 2 options available to councils under recently passed government legislation. Hundreds turned out for the decision at today's meeting. Northland reporter Helen Castles was there.
A display of strength and unity in support of Māori wards. With standing room only, as a motion to abolish them was voted down.
And those against? Councillors Rooker, Peters, McKenzie, Harding, Pulse, Connor, Holmes, and Worship.
Elated, exhausted, overwhelmed, emotional. It's been huge, actually.
The decision followed 2 hours of debate over whether to axe the seats.
This is a generational decision. It's not just for us. It's not just for me and you. It's generational.
4 councillors voting to get rid of them.
I ran for no to co-governance, no to 3 borders and no to Māori Wards seats. My stand on that has not changed. You are our colleagues and you are our friends. And my decision today, I assure you, is not a personal one at all.
Once the council chamber was full, the doors were locked and no one else was allowed in. But the waiata and the chants from those rallying outside echoed throughout the meeting.
It's a sign that our whānau are becoming more and more proactive in what it means to be in this democratic process.
Security was high, but the rally was peaceful. The Kiwi anthem sung in te reo and English. Whangarei Mayor Vince Coccarello wouldn't say whether he was for or against the Māori seats.
Referendums to me are vitally important because they allow our community to have a say in the outcome of going forward.
While the Kaipara District Council became the first in the country to abolish them, the Far North District set to vote next month, indicating it intends to keep them.
So there you go. So this is the maps that we're talking about. So this is the top half of the North Island. There is Whangarei District Council. There is the Far North District Council, and there is Kaipara, which goes to show how it would appear out of step Kaipara is with the rest of Northland. Because, and that I think most people would say might come down to a particular mayor.
Hey, there we go.
I think what they did is I think they rewarded us for the teas rather than be guilty of doing it for the teas. So yeah, Chewy, there's more to talk about because there's also going on at Hastings as well, Hastings Council as well. But I mean, it seems like the most sensible. It seems to me that even if you're not a fan of, Māori Wards, then what you do is you give it back to the people. That's what seems one of the things that seems so ugly about Kaipara and what they did, just voting it down and not even giving it a chance to go to the people.
So I think with this, it's important to recognise that this is step one, is that the councils could just decide to get rid of them instantly.
Yeah.
The change in legislation is that all councils that have adopted the Māori ward need to put it up for a referendum at the next election. They have the option to vote and get rid of them straight away.
Yeah.
So this is great. This is a great first step for that council. They still have to, because of central government, put a race relations issue, a te tiriti issue, up for public referendum.
Which is a strange place to start talking about race relations by referendum.
Yeah. It's not the place for it. And like if you have a minority group of any shade, configuration, whatever, thrown out to a much bigger group to go, do you care about this issue? Then they will lose more often than not.
Mm.
So it's great to see Pākehā there realizing that it's important. And that needs to be the message that we take into the local body elections that are coming up, I believe, next year.
Yeah,
Is it next year, that
yeah.
time around? So yeah, I saw a comment earlier. I'm sorry I didn't star it, but someone going, "Oh, I never vote in the local body elections, but I'm going to have to this year." 100%. A lot of what we talk about is how democracy falls apart at a local level because it's not seen as accessible or as important as national level stuff. But if we need a way to signal what's important to us, that is just as an important a step, especially with it being more local. As the national level elections, we need to hammer what is important to us to a flagpole.
And look, this hasn't even begun the conversation of why the fuck are they doing a referendum on Māori wards anyway? Like, they're not doing them on rural wards and other things. Why is it only Māori wards? So this is a much bigger conversation. But within this ugly conversation about putting sort of I guess what many of us would see as commitments within the treaty to public referendum, commitments in a contract which now get to be decided by a group of people outside the contract, get to decide without even having that conversation, just looking at the ugliness today, the ugliness of this overall thing. It's a win. And so this is Hastings, and there was controversy around this because Hastings voted to keep Māori wards. And the controversy, Simeon Brown wasn't very happy about this, is Patch gang members were in the audience and they also celebrated keeping Māori wards. The councillors or the mayor was given a bit of grief about that, and I believe the response was the gang members came midway through the thing, and there was no trouble or ructions, or they were just at that point, I guess, ratepayers / citizens / members of the community. And so Hastings said, the Hawke's Bay Regional Council meeting where a decision was made on Wednesday to retain the council's 2 Māori wards. And that was so I guess, Chewy, I can say for both of us, from our opinion, the right decision. And interested to know that, patched gang members are like, really, can't go out in public, really? Okay, well, let's just go celebrate our council making the right decision. But you know what? Probably doing more than many of us do with local councils 99% of the time, Chewy, showing up to a local council situation and voicing their views.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this stuff is important. Like there is so much, Seymour wants to have an honest debate about the treaty and Māori and all of this sort of stuff. We've talked about what an assault has taken place over this last 8 months. It is going to be a long campaign to fight back against. We've got to push back against all of it. And this is just one little piece of it. It's all important.
Yeah.
What did I just say in the chat there? Citizen, 24 district councils have voted to keep them so far. This is the majority.
Yeah, cool.
Having a Māori ward on my council takes nothing away from me.
Yeah.
Nothing. And that's what people need to recognize. It doesn't dilute democracy. It adds people to it. It is, in my opinion, part of Te Tiriti, that Māori have a say. And if they have a guaranteed say in every city, every council in the country, good. That is a good thing.